Well, Jimmy Fallon is adding a new skill to his resume. Talk show host, star of Fever Pitch, and chili chef? That's right. Jimmy Fallon makes amazing chili, and he gave a huge bowl of chili to Andy Cohen on Watch What Happens Live. Andy ate it, and it said it is some of the best chili he's ever had in his life. And it was so good that even Ben said, "Can I please have some more of that?" His Andy's son. Amy, did you hear about this? And what are your thoughts on Jimmy Fallon having some of the world's best chili?
I have not heard about this. He's really got a lot going on, that guy.
He's busy. We talk about these busy people, people who are so busy, and Andy Cohen's one of them. And then now Jimmy Fallon, when he's not being a multi-hyphenate, he's also just making chili at home with his family. It's kind of astounding.
Did you see Taylor Swift on Jimmy Fallon saying that she loved One Battle After Another? I
saw that. How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel like
I
it's
think
a
she
movie?
was pandering, and maybe it was a Haim tie-in.
Oh, of course. Oh my gosh. Who can forget Elena Haim's iconic performance in One Battle After Another? Whew. That was really good. So I can see why Taylor loved that film.
Oh my God. I didn't tell you yet, but last night I tried to go see that film that I really liked in IMAX, and 20 minutes in, the sound went off and they stopped it and canceled the screening at the City Walk IMAX.
That's horrible. And someone special was with you seeing it for the first time, right?
Yeah, I wanted to cry.
I am so sorry. That is horrible. Oh my gosh. What do you think? Did they try to put VistaVision in there and they go, oh
yeah,
God, it's blowing up. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened. No, I really am so sorry, because that is such a huge, for people who don't know, going to City Walk, it's like fucking hell.
Huge pain in the ass.
It's like adds 45 minutes to your movie-going experience. It's so hard to get into. You have to tell these people that you're not going to Universal Studios or whatever. You know, you have to be like, no, I'm going to the movie. Please let me in. They're like, are you sure you're not going to Universal Studios?
Yeah, your movie ticket comes with a barcode so that instead of paying $20 to park, you pay $5.
Oh.
But me and Jimmy were arriving separately, so I sent him a screenshot of the barcode. But since I already used the barcode, he couldn't use it, so he had to pay the full amount. So then after, when we went to get our refund certificates, he also had to get they have a cashback system where they give you the portion of your parking that you paid for that wasn't covered until you got it validated.
Here's your $4.57 in coins. It's like, what the hell is going on in City Walk? And like you said, it's the only IMAX we have. So people, our movie-going public, have to go to City Walk to see Christopher Nolan films and One Battle After Another like that. It's horrendous. That's why, the places like the Vista and New Beverly, like, thank God for them that they exist, even though they don't deliver that IMAX experience.
Yeah, it was, I guess I can be glad that it was only 15, 20 minutes, not like 2 hours in when you're like literally just have to kill yourself then, because what are you going to do?
Unfortunately, Jimmy only got to watch the worst parts of that film, the first 20 minutes.
It was literally like, spoiler for 1 second, the second that Tiana Taylor got arrested, that was where so it was like right on the cusp of getting to like part 2, basically.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's a huge demarcation between after about 25 minutes or so. We talked about it a lot, I want to say. If you want to hear Amy and I's sort of unfiltered talks, we talk about it for about 25 minutes or 22 minutes on the Patreon this week. I won't even spoil anything that was said, but I did not enjoy it as much as sort of the 98% of Rotten Tomatoes reviewers.
Yeah. Did you see that New York at large got to see Marty Supreme last night, and everyone's going ape shit over it? You're already pissed.
Oh my God. Imagining Timothée Chalamet as Marty Supreme running around playing ping pong.
You don't fuck
or
with
whatever.
the Safdies?
I'm fine with the Safdies. I can't talk shit about any more movies. I love Marty Supreme. I can't wait to see it. I'm a Smashing Machine guy. I'll take Benny Safdie. I like him in Christopher Nolan films. What? You don't like Smashing Machine?
Well, it made like $1.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I mean, I don't judge that based off that. But if I'm taking a Safdie in the Hall of Fame, I'm going with Benny Safdie over, what's the other one's name? Josh. Yeah, I'll have to see it to believe it. Timothée Chalamet in that film.
Oh yeah, you hate Timmy, you hate Denis Villeneuve.
but once we talk about movies again, I'm gonna say all of my favorite stuff. Like, I'm gonna say all the movies I absolutely love. I loved Friendship. I forgot to mention that on Patreon. I had 2 movies I loved this year, Eddington and Friendship. I just want to celebrate all the fun movies there are, but no way do I believe that Marty Supreme is actually good.
Wow.
But
Okay.
are you going to see Smashing Machine? Just to talk about that other one.
I see everything, so yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. One battle after another. We closed the loop on that. We talked about all of our feelings about that film on Patreon.
Paywalled. We don't have to get into this, but one of our little news items is just a resounding congratulations to Brittany Cartwright for getting her Jax-funded boobs taken out. She wasn't that specific. I don't know exactly what she did, but she implied that she got them removed.
She said, it says, remove the 2 big things that no longer serve you was sort of her subtle caption. And I said, oh my God, 2 big things that don't serve you. And then she had a photo of, it looked like bandages right under where one would think that operation would.
I believe that she got what they call the mommy makeover, which is when you get the whole shebang, the tummy tuck, the tits. Sorry.
That's all right.
I need to stop saying the T's.
We've been saying GITS a lot. I think on Patreon as well. I'm so proud of her. A real congratulations. People are going to be like ironic about this or whatever, but it is so awesome that Jax, he demanded these big sandbags, triple Ds. He said he went against her wishes. Yeah. She said she wanted Peter's girlfriend's size or no, that was even too much. I think she wanted a C+ or something. And he goes, no, I want triple Ds like Peter's girlfriends. And then he kind of said, if I'm paying for him, this is his quote. Yeah, I'm gonna get him how I want him. When he was when he was drunk and on coke.
His eyes are like black saucers. He's like, I want what I want, teardrop shape.
Yeah, I want him how I forget what he says. We recapped that so long ago. But this is a huge step forward for Brittany. I think it's so fun because I don't think she ever truly enjoyed that. Having that large of breasts. I don't know how many times I should say that if this is going on YouTube, but it is the one last, like, get rid of Jax, get the away from me, Jax. You no longer can even think about my. You no longer have any say in my body, and I don't have this association with you anymore. I think it is great. I love this for Brittany.
For sure. So congrats to her. That will, she's not on toughest test anymore, but she has, she's on the right track.
Yeah, that's great. Maybe World's Toughest Test. I don't want to get it too into this because I think it's weird for me to be talking about it, but maybe World's Toughest Test was eye-opening as well. She was like,
these things are weighing me down.
Or something like that. But anyway, huge congrats to Brittany Cartwright. That's a really big deal. That just happened like 2 days ago. So I'm glad we're talking about it. Really quickly, Dolores, I found Dolores from New Jersey, unfortunately had a horrible thing happen. Her and Polly, I think a house that they share or something, they were filming Rhode Island, the Real Housewives of Rhode Island, and a bunch of people, sort of like in the movie The Town, with those nun outfits and a blowtorch, came to their home and used the blowtorch on the glass and blew it out so that the alarm wouldn't go out, and committed a full-blown home invasion on their house while they were gone filming Rhode Island.
I would not fuck with Dolores or Polly.
No, me neither. Oh my God, I can't believe it. So she said it looked like it was very much like in the vein of a heist movie if you looked at this stuff. But
Thief is a major blowtorch movie.
Totally. Oh my God, how could I have not thought about Jimmy Kahn when he has a total blowtorch for the majority of the movie. But I've never seen this. And it says here, you'll like this detail. He does have glass break sensors, I think, that shatter and make a noise. And it does start to scream intruder when someone breaks the glass. And so they did scurry like little rats, he says, after about 20 seconds because the thing was squealing. I don't know. I don't know how much was taken because I'm just kind of processing this now. But still, this is add this to the list of horrible home invasions for Bravo celebrities.
Seriously, damn. I'm glad I don't have anything of value.
I know. I was like, could you imagine if I was watching a movie that I love on my couch, and all of a sudden somebody went up to my window with a blowtorch to try to steal all my precious jewels and all the stuff I have. It's horrible that, I think that this, it's like a bling ring situation where when they see Dolores saying, I'm in Rhode Island with Polly's, we hired that meat shot company again, and people are like, oh my god, I know where Dolores lives, I want to rob the shit out of them.
Yeah, it is a argument to not be on TV or tell anyone where you are on social media.
Yeah, but we also just have to say, we condemn anyone who does home invasions and robberies.
We condemn stealing and acts of, I don't know, theft.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we all love heist movies like Thief, Heat, what was the one I said, the Town, but we don't want that to actually happen.
Yeah, although I will say I'm very quickly, even if they're not necessarily good, although usually movies build in that you are rooting for the robbers in some capacity because they're like, their kid is sick, they need the cash or whatever. There's just something fun about watching people like weasel out of getting caught, I think.
You mean like if you're Jimmy Conn Thief and like he's blowing a blowtorch to that big bank or vault, and then he gets out of there and you're like, oh my god, no one got hurt, he just got some money, the bank owes it. Yeah, that kind of like low-key fun heist. I think
Nobody
Inside
got
Man.
hurt. I was just gonna bring up Inside Man. Like at the end, he gives spoiler. He gives Denzel the diamond because he said something about wanting to marry his girlfriend, and he bumps into him on his way out, and Denzel checks his pocket. There's a diamond, and you're like, who cares if he has the diamond? Like it belongs to the Nazi. Like he doesn't need to have it back.
Yeah, you like burglars with a heart of gold. John
Exactly.
Q, he's not a burglar, but he's burglaring, a hospital. But it's like, hey, I love my son, I'm doing all this stuff. So I like that too. But I also like, burglaries where nothing bad happens to anyone. It's like,
sucks when it goes awry.
But let's not do home invasions though. Banks, I hate it still. But I'm just saying, if you have to watch a movie about a heist, it's better not be a home
not the
invasion.
individual. Yeah. The institution over the individual.
I had a question about one battle after another really quick. Do you like that Tiana Taylor's character, Persephone Beverly Hills, is just a huge spoiler, 30 seconds, is just a huge rat that got her entire team murdered in the first 30 minutes of that? Like, is that a fun aspect of that? Does that make it sort of like
I think it's
odd?
challenging.
Yeah, it's pretty challenging. It's like the one really false note, like in that whole movie, that it hinges on the fact that Tiana Taylor betrayed her entire team and got them all
but like,
murdered.
What do you mean? Like, you can't root for her anymore? Or you don't think she would have?
Yeah, either, I guess. I don't
it's
root
interesting because it's like her daughter has to decide whether she was a hero or a piece of shit,
Yeah, it's just it was such a strange character choice. I'm sure that was Pynchon who put that one in there. But anyway, okay, enough about that. Okay, last news. Oh, congratulations again, like the Brittany congratulations. Alexis Bellino and John Jansen got married at a rustic chic cabin in the woods. And they wanted to go for a whimsical, romantic, dreamy, earthy elegance vibe. And these pictures I'm seeing are absolutely amazing. Did you get to see any of these photos?
I saw clips of her dancing, and I saw that Tamara was there, who said it was one of the most beautiful and spiritual weddings she's ever been to. And it looked like a nightmare, in my opinion. Eddie was wearing a cowboy hat. I was like, get me the hell out of here.
All right. You know what I'm surprised by? This is a big congratulations because I did not think Johnny J and Alexis had the legs to keep on going. I thought this was to spite Shannon Bedore, rub it in her face. They were cackling, laughing, gleeful that they were pulling one over on Shannon. They were only thinking about Shannon sort of for their entire relationship. But no, I mean, these two people got married. They had Galena from McBee Dynasty at their wedding. Yes,
that should have been the opener.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm reading page 6 as we talk. I've heard that if Galena goes to your wedding, it never ever ends in separation. So that means that Jesse McBee Unfortunately, Galena didn't make it to his wedding, so that does not mean that she's going to continue her streak of perfect marriages for all time.
I really hope Galena goes to BravoCon.
I think she is, don't you think?
I hope
No.
so. That's a photo I want.
If Galena wasn't invited, she might just show up uninvited. Is that
And
something
Masha.
Galena does? Yeah, I guess Masha does that.
We were
more.
saying they should do Squash That Beef, Masha and Galena on the stage.
They should. That would be awesome, especially if it took like 10 seconds and then like we love each other. That was so easy. No, I'm sorry. Galena doesn't go anywhere uninvited. She was invited to that Nashville spice testing event. It was Masha who went to the car wash uninvited. Galena gets invited to absolutely everything. I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
Well, I love her, and I would love to know how she ended up at that Orange County wedding, but that's a plus.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet Alexis Bellino called Jansen Johnny J in their vows.
Yeah. I'm sure it was awful.
What, their vows?
Just all of it.
I bet they did. I bet Johnny J and Alexis did the thing where they say, we wrote our vows on parchment paper, but we're putting them in a little box and we'll read them to you all in 10 years.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's like a way for people who don't want to read their vows. They kind of get away with it. And
did you do that?
No. Megan and I read beautiful vows to each other. But congratulations to Alexis and Johnny J. You know who's not at all upset? Jim Bellino. He gave him a huge congratulations.
Oh,
he
wow.
said, "I'm so proud of you both." He's just doing so good in life with his Palm Springs restaurant and that car business he has that he doesn't even care that
they should have had it catered by Jimmy B's.
That would have been so awesome. Could you imagine him getting, I don't know where it was, but I'm sure the travel for the food wouldn't have been that hard. Palm Springs to wherever this wedding was. Okay, last thing, and then we have to go, right?
Go on.
Is this Scheana and Lala simmering feud? What was the last detail that you heard?
I didn't even really realize this was happening, and then all of a sudden I saw that there were multiple clapbacks and unfollowing and all this stuff. So tell me, I don't know what's going on.
Sure. It's hard because this is not, we would have to just be listening to Lala and Scheana's podcast and also seeing all their interviews and stuff to
God forbid we, as people who make a job out of this, would ever do.
But there's even more than you would think. We could just listen to those podcasts, but there's even more. It's entered into just a bunch of different disparate sources to keep it all together. The last big thing was that Scheana said that one reason for this grudge against Lala, it's not just because of the lack of book promotion, but it's also because Lala was telling people earlier than Scheana wanted about Brock cheating. So she told Jenna Willis, who was that Valley season 2 person that used to date Michelle's new boyfriend. What was that guy's name? Aaron, of course. So, and Scheana was not in a good place with Jenna at that time. So Scheana thought it was sort of a, breaking her confidence for Lala to reveal that thing, even though she doesn't think that Lala had bad intentions when she said it. So it's kind of like Sheena's letting us know that there's more to it than just that. And I think in response to that, after Scheana said that on her podcast, sort of telling us a little more, that there's more going into it, Lala unfollowed Scheana, and you know what happens when you unfollow Scheana? It makes you unfollow Brock Davies and Summer Moon's accounts because they are completely linked. Remember when we all go, Tom Sandoval, you piece of shit, you unfollowed Summer Moon, you piece of shit, while you were on your tour? Well, it turns out that they were all linked, and that's one, it's kind of like a domino effect.
Yeah,
when you
it's like a business account or something. Yeah,
so people said, Lala, can you believe she did this about Scheana Moon? But people know this time after the Tom Sandoval thing that this is how it works. This is how it goes.
Yeah, we've been through this, you guys. Pay attention.
We've been through this. And then Scheana also, in addition to lighting a little more fires to that feud, Scheana did dispel some rumors about her Valley season 3 appearance. She said that Bravo is not blaming her for her book and choosing not to film with her. She was offered season 3. Alex Baskin confirmed that and confirmed that she's not banned by Bravo, but she wants to do other things. Like, she didn't want to jump right back into reality television. And she kind of had Alex Baskin there as backup to confirm this. So I thought that was kind of interesting because I was blaming I thought that quite possibly Alex Baskin was resentful of like the kind of shots that Scheana took at them in her book, but it
Right.
sounds like that's not the case, and maybe she would be back like next season potentially.
Do you think Alex Baskin will write a book?
Oh my God, if he ever did, holy shit. I hate to think, I'm not going to think about a memoir title off the top of my head. That's for our Villa Rosa VIPs and Little Turtle Cuties to do. But it would be no holds barred, every single little secret that he's had for the 15 to 20 years he's been doing this. Could you imagine?
We should do, I always say ideas and then we never do them because I don't want to, but we should like reread Andy Cohen's books at some point if we need like a special edition episode of some kind, because I don't think I've read the first one since it came out in like 2012 or whenever that was.
I would love to read that at the same time with you and talk about
fun.
it. Yeah, I always think about Daddy Diaries because that's the only one I read. And when he said that the Summer House season 7 reunion, he goes, I don't know what the hell was up with them, but they totally sucked at that reunion. And I was just imagining Kyle Cook opening his new copy of Daddy Diaries and be like, oh my God, Andy said we sucked.
Oh man. Wait, so you haven't read the other two at all?
No, what were the other two?
It was like the Andy Cohen Diaries, and then I think there was one called like Superficial or something, which was they're all the same format. They're that diary format.
No, I loved it. I loved the format. I thought it was so fun to get a peek into Andy's diaries. But no, I only read Daddy Diaries because we went to that show and we got that signed copy.
Oh, right.
So
yeah.
But I mean, oh my God, I'll read it for the first time and have the time of my life.
I think I've been to an event for all three.
Holy shit. Oh my God. Yeah, I know. I need to get a little peek at those first two. But anyway, I mean, that's all the news I had. Sort of a lot of news. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about?
Just lastly, nothing to say about it, but I saw online that they're about to announce Southern Charm. So, Bapadu. Hopefully there's a trailer by the time we talk next, and then we can talk about it then.
I kind of love that we don't know one detail about Southern Charm. It's a complete mystery. I mean, we know that Craig is going to be dealing with the aftermath of him and Paige breaking up, but other than that, I don't know anything that's going to be happening, so I can't wait to see that trailer.
Yeah. I hope they don't focus on that too much. It's like such old news at this point.
Yeah, I know. But him dating and stuff, and Shep and Austin trying to get him out of his funk will be interesting. You know, him having to account for his behavior on Paige where he thought he was high and mighty Craig.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't need any more details about how they broke up, if he bought a ring, all that shit. But I am excited for him to be sort of out on his ass off of his pedestal because he thought they were the king and queen. It's like, you have to start over.
Yes, I agree with you. I don't need any more of that. But I do think the first scene of Southern Charm season 11 is going to be him saying, well, Ring, we had a good run, but I'm officially selling you to a New York City jeweler. And then we'll see that he's proving to us that he did buy that infamous ring for Paige.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
And then people will figure out that it was fake and that it was a lie.
Yes, yeah, we'll be like so good at detecting what's wrong there. We never talked about this, and I don't want to talk about it very long, but Whitney Sutler Smith has a huge production company, and he's starting a digital series of Shep traveling the world called Shep Knows Best. And then he also is doing a thriller, like a low budget thriller movie or something through his production company. So huge congrats to Whitney Sutler Smith.
He should put Lala in it.
That would be, oh my God.
Oh my God, by the way, I was so pissed off. I think it was Megan Fox on Cinematrix the other day, and I forgot Midnight in the Switchgrass.
Really? You said Megan you said it was Megan Fox, and then you said that you didn't remember that Megan Fox had a huge appearance in Midnight in the Switchgrass.
Yeah, I totally flopped. I could only think of This Is 40, Jennifer's Body, and like Transformers, like the most obvious ones.
Yeah, she's her, Bruce Willis, and Lala Kent, I think, are the three sort of, it's a three-hander, and they're kind of the main focus of that one.
I'll wait my turn for it to come up again.
It will. It definitely will. Well, all right. I think we got to get out of this news segment, and I think that we should talk about, this is kind of a surprise. I mean, people have seen it in the title, but Amy and I right now are going to talk about the season 10 premiere of The Real Housewives of Potomac, which sort of came out of nowhere.
Snuck up on us. I literally started seeing memes on Queens of Bravo and stuff, and I was like, wait, what?
I said that too. I go, holy shit. I go, is there somewhere that Bravo announces a schedule? Because that would be great to know. But it turns out that there's an entire season wrapped in the can, ready to go. And the premiere happened, and we watched it. And what'd you think?
It was fun to be back. I do feel like, I don't know, Potomac for me is always sort of like a little extra fun one, similar to Miami, where I feel like the drama is not usually that consequential. Like, it's not that any of the housewives really are right now, but it's just kind of, I'm interested that there's some newbies. We'll see like how this shakes out. But you can tell they were really trying to mold around the Karen getting out of jail thing, because it's from when they started to when that happened is so long that they kept having to do like 6 months earlier, like 2 months later, blah, blah, blah. And that's always kind of like tiring.
Yeah, I agree. Because they had to film right after the sentencing announcement, which was, I think, 6 months ago. So they filmed a scene like them reacting to the news, and then they picked up filming for the actual season. And yeah, they deal with the Karen Huger stuff right at the very beginning, and then not really again after the first 5 minutes. But it was cool that Bravo confirmed was there outside of the, what is it, jail?
Yeah, it was her. Not perp walk. I guess the opposite of a perp walk, when you're
getting
freedom
out walk. Fun. I'm over jail walk.
Yeah.
And so they that was from September 2nd. So the turnaround on that was very quick, about a month.
Like 1 month ago, yeah.
So they got that footage. Karen says, I need tissues so badly. I'm crying.
But they don't show her.
No. It's like, it was almost like, can we film? And Karen was like, I'm giving you nothing. Of course you can be there and have footage of it, but I'm not talking to you. I'm not ready. Like, you're getting nothing from me, especially she's not going to be paid for this season. She's not a cast member. So they don't give Karen anything. But then we see everyone reacting to the news, and everyone knows what happened to Karen Huger. She was the drunkest that a human being could ever be behind the wheel of a car. They have all of the footage. She got sentenced to, what was it, 6 months? 6 months of, or I think it was good behavior. I think it got scaled down from what the original sentencing was. And then they all sort of, all of the remaining cast members have a conference at Giselle's house to talk about this first before they get into the Stacey and TJ stuff, which is going to be more about what the season is going to be about.
Right. Yeah. Giselle and Ashley are like, I hope that she's in the old woman AARP wing. And they also, when the group is together, I think Ashley's the one that makes a joke about Thomas Jefferson's concubine, and they're all like, oh God, like, we don't talk about that. But then the show does make a joke about it, and they have the audio of Karen saying it, ghostly audio in the background. And I was like, okay, like, I wasn't sure if they were going to go for that, but...
No, yeah, they bring some of that stuff in. I can't stop thinking about when Karen said, I don't know what the fuck Grand Dame means. It's something that Andy came up with. I was like, oh my God, what a shocking revelation that she doesn't know what the hell anyone's ever talking about when they call her the Grand Dame.
Right. Yeah, she's like, whatever.
Yeah, Giselle also, she wants to take little shots because she's always obviously had a rivalry with Karen. She's a frenemy in a way. So I hope she's in the old woman section of prison was kind of mean. Yeah. Like, you're almost shocked. Like, I understand it's funny and that's sort of like gallows humor or whatever, but still shocking to hear because she's actually in jail in this moment and you're making an old person joke about her. And then Giselle does say something needed to happen with Karen. She doesn't say I wanted her to go to jail, but she was like, something needed to prevent that 5th DUI from happening. So there needed to be some accountability. And that's sort of the one step further than anyone else takes it in the room. Right. In regards to Karen's jail sentence. Yeah.
Jimmy was asking me, because he was watching it, he was like, are Giselle and Karen like enemies? And I was like, no. Like, I was like, I don't even like know how to explain the history. I was like, I think Giselle's been enemies with everyone at some point, and now they're sort of, like friendly foes, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, they've been forged, as OGs on this franchise for so long. They've had every up and down you could ever have. I would say it's been mostly contentious, but I think in the last couple seasons, there's been sort of a rallying around the OGs and there's mutual respect. And I think that they've come to like appreciate each other and still take friendly jabs at each other. But it's always on the edge of like, it could always go badly again, I think.
Yeah. So as everyone's arriving to do this round table of Karen talk, when Stacey parks and walks up, they do her so dirty. They record her burping and she's like, "Excusez-moi." Which then throughout the episode, by the end of the episode, there's a whole conversation again about her having bad breath.
Horrible. Oh my God. All right. I'm going to say it now. Oh my God. So a part of the reason why I couldn't enjoy this Potomac episode is because I am so loyal to Stacey for some reason. Deep within me, I don't know what it is. I am so biased towards Stacey that watching Giselle and Ashley, how horribly they treated Stacey, took me aback and was making me angry. I was like, I'm getting angry. I was so upset with how Stacey was being treated this entire episode that the editors also adding in her burps and slurps and stomach blurps.
It was giving belch.
It was giving belch. They were like, I think her bad breath is boiling from her belly. And then they were going, bloop, 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 bloop. It's like they put growling bad belly noises for Stacey. And then they edited out Ashley Darby having to pause on the stairs while they put out those sparklers so they didn't light Ashley on fire. They gave Ashley a semi-graceful edit of her walking down the stairs. It probably took 15 minutes.
They should have zoomed in on her bunions.
Yes, but they're adding burps and belches and saying this person has such heinous breath that it's causing flies to die around her. And in addition to that horrible shit, this TJ stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It might be the least compelling storyline or drama ever in the history of all Housewives. The lack of curiosity that the cast members are expressing towards this TJ lie is so shocking to me that I almost can't stand it. Do you know what I'm talking about? The TJ, this lie that TJ, the lie that TJ said that he was promised 50% of Stacey's salary to film with her last season.
Right.
It just makes absolutely no sense to me that they can't wonder for 1 second, could this guy we hated that seems really untrustworthy and lame and weird and is an actor, could he be possibly lying to us?
Right.
No one has broached that for 1 second. And all the cast members now are united against Stacey, just 100% believing this lie about Stacey. That's what's really shocking to me.
Yeah, I will say she's not great at defending herself or bringing her own form of receipts. She's cagey about it. So it's like she doesn't help herself.
She's scared of what TJ is going to do. He's obviously suffering from deep issues. He's a person that would lie about something so huge. He has no idea what he's doing. He said the biggest lie you could ever say, and now Stacey is the one who's having to deal with it because all of her cast members are so ready to go after her for some horrible behavior she had in the past. And I think that TJ made a weird choice, and Stacey does not want to involve him or even say his name for this entire season because she's worried about what he is capable of doing in this season that he's not a part of on the off season.
Who do we think the actress at the Essence luncheon is?
I have no idea, and I really don't care at all. It provides no validity to what they said. I don't believe in the legal document. I believe that if TJ did do this, anyone can sue anyone. I have no idea where this came from, but I don't believe it at all in any way.
Is there an actress that if she said it, you would believe it? What if it was like Viola Davis?
Viola Davis is best friends with TJ, and she was at that Essence dinner, and she
I
said,
have the documents.
"Look at this legal document. It says defendant TJ, and it says plaintiff Stacey, and it says you owe him 50% of your Potomac money." I really still do not believe
She's an
it.
EGOT.
Oh, well, EGOTs, that would be a huge. I love EGOTs. I love every single one of them. But I still, unfortunately, I'm so I cannot accept the world in which Stacey said, "TJ, please come on this show. You are so engaging and wonderful.
Right.
I'll pay you half of my salary if you'll come
I'll
and
never
join me."
understand the logic. Although, so they're coming after her for that, and then questioning whether or not she is in fact divorced or getting divorced. So the only thing that I could possibly make sense of is that they basically are saying that she finagled her way onto the show because they were looking for a certain type of woman or something, where like she thought she had to plot out if she was a single woman, or like that she had to sort of play with the archetype that the show was looking for or something. But I don't think that's necessary.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's possible, and the divorce stuff. I'm just like, I don't. Is that the biggest deal in the world if they didn't actually file versus when they filed? I mean, it seemed like they were estranged. She talked about it with her daughter. They were a divorced couple or separated, and it seems like they were drawn back together, you know, for their love of their daughter, and also they realized that I think he was like a workaholic or something. So maybe TJ was sort of she was starting to date him, but they obviously had a very weird relationship, Stacey and TJ. Right. She wasn't ready to fully commit to him because I think she always knew that her love for Timo was very powerful, and that she maybe wanted to get back with her husband, and they were in a rocky period or something like that.
Yeah, huge Timo reveal.
Timo, oh my God. Timo is so awesome. I loved this scene between Stacey and Timo. They go to this Indian restaurant.
She's dressed to the nines.
She goes, "I'm meeting someone very special. His name is Timo." And they go, "Oh my God.
Thiemo.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just say it. Megan and I were talking about if names for our next child potentially. And I said, could we consider Timo? I loved this guy, and they had such a sweet scene together. It was like it's complicated except not as complicated. They went on a Mexico retreat with their daughter to celebrate because they still kind of liked each other. When the divorce was finalized, or the divorce got put to a certain point, they realized they still loved each other. And Timo has hard eyes the entire time. He goes, "The reason why we're giving each other googly eyes like this is because we've missed each other so much, and we want each other back in our lives." It's a very sweet scene, I thought.
Yeah, it was like, he's rich. If you guys like each other and have a daughter, make it work. That sounds way better. But they're not telling their daughter yet because they just told her they were getting divorced, and they're like, we can't confuse her until I guess they really know what's happening.
Yeah, and he's been sending evites instead of traditional calling and texting. He says that's less. There's something odd about that. He goes, evites lock us in for 2 hours so that he makes time, which I think that was a point of conflict in their relationship, was that he wasn't dedicating enough time. That's kind of a cute idea,
actually.
She said it was
sending an evite to like your boyfriend for dinner.
It's one of the cutest things I've ever seen.
I might steal that.
It's a Timo creation.
Totally Timo.
It's totally Timo. He created sending evites to your ex to possibly make time, dedicated time for someone. And then Stacey goes, "What made you think of those evites?" And he goes, "You liked it, didn't you?" And she goes, "I love it, Timo." And then they can't stop staring at each other the entire time. It's really sweet. That for me was like, they're all messing with Stacey, and they're bullying her, and they're trying to take her down. Even Kay is like, "I fucking hate you, Stacey, you beady-eyed freak." I'm like, where did this come from, Kay? My God. And
she's
you
trying
too?
to make her stamp in the show.
Which is such a misguided effort. If I was Kay, I would rally around the cast member who's on the ropes, who you know is dynamic and fun, and now she's got this whole Timo avenue to to go down. And I would align myself with the one that's being bullied and be like, let's be the underdogs, champions together, and let's fight for it. But Kay goes with the people, the people that are sort of powerful, that she sees as the powerful OGs against Stacey. And it really comes off like it made me. I was just like, Kay, you're the kind of person now that's sort of a kiss up, kick down, you know, in a way where you're taking advantage of the group mentality towards Stacey, and you want a piece of it too, which I didn't really enjoy.
Yeah, but she has a new ally with Angel, because she's the one that brought her in. But that, I guess, also gave her the strength to take on Wendy at the end of the episode. Like, she's kind of going for a lot of different angles.
Yeah, you know, I think that Kay is now a full-time cast member, and there's some amount of pressure, I think, in justifying that title. And unfortunately, I felt like Kay made some sort of flop attempts with that new title as full-time cast member. Like, the Wendy scene was almost embarrassing for Kay. The sort of stuff that she was using against Wendy, saying, hey, when you were giving a speech, you didn't wave directly at me in the middle of it. I'm kind of odd. And then and then Wendy said, did you do your own makeup on the red carpet? It was like, it was so low level that even Wendy was kind of embarrassed. Like, that's what you're coming with, Kay,
that
against
sucked.
me? Yeah, that was rough.
So one of the battles that happens on this episode is just Ashley harping on Stacey about everything we already said. But she also says here that the reason she's throwing this second bloom ball is because her divorce is finalized, and they show photos of her reading the RHOP news.
It's they show the 4 or 5 different versions, and it was awesome. It was an exclusive on multiple newspapers. It said Ashley Darby divorces husband on the cover of RHOP News, and there was a bunch of different. It was like really amazing how many headlines there were.
We should do either Photoshop or actually shoot it where we're like Turtle Time News, like Amy and Riley are going to BravoCon, or like some dumbass announcement, but it's like the Turtle Time Gazette.
I would love to. You know, I do think we have actually done one Turtle Time Gazette in the past. We did announce something.
I only have so many ideas.
No, it's okay. I don't think we've used it enough for sure. We could definitely make a lot more announcements on the Turtle Time Gazette, I think, for sure. Was this the first second bloom ball that you've ever seen?
I think so. I didn't even remember. Did we see the first bloom?
No. First bloom that was the era that we first met Ashley. Her first bloom was what we've seen cataloged on Potomac. The blooming of Michael Darby, the blooming of her children, that was her.
The blooming of Michael Darby. He bloomed all right.
He definitely bloomed. We've seen the blooming. This is the second bloom post-divorce blooming. And, you know, like I said, this second bloom ball has a little bit of flop energy. I love the idea of a second bloom, but although the word second implies that there was a first that you missed, but instead she means this whole era is called second bloom. But they give her a good edit going down the stairs, even though she was scared that her dress was going to go get lit on fire. Her speech wasn't that great because everybody was so confused why it took her so long to get down the stairs. And then she says, let's just all go party. And then she immediately gets back into it with Stacey about her bad breath.
So upsetting. We've said it time and again. Every time breath comes to play, it's just the lowest blow. And everyone hops on board. They say, I think at one point they said her breath was tart, a little spicy.
Angel said that. We've said it so many times. I posted a TikTok about this, you know, defending Stacey, and people said they broke the cardinal turtle time rule about smells because everybody knows how we stand. If we can't smell it, I don't want to know about it. And it's something that we can't verify. The fact that they're all saying, look, here comes bad breath, Stacey.
Yeah, one of the main senses that we can't watch on TV.
No, I'm used to 2D, 3D at most, but smell-o-vision, absolutely not. And it's just something like when we said this about Lisa Vanderpump, when Dorit started saying, guess whose breath smells to high heaven? Lisa's. There's just no coming back from that. I think
it's a huge disrespect.
Yes, and I don't believe that Stacey's breath stinks at all, even mildly. But even if it does, that's such a mean-spirited thing to say, to level at someone. So and then Ashley, I love Ashley Darby. She's my third favorite cast member or second favorite cast member, but when you put her against Stacey and she's using Stacey as a punching bag, it makes Ashley seem very mean-spirited and like a bully. And the same for Giselle. There is just something about Stacey that I think she is new to this show. She doesn't understand the full ropes. She's telling her the truth that she knows. She had this weird interaction with this guy that she dated who she found out was kind of odd, to say the least. And now she's just dealing with people that are professionals in this environment. And she's trying to hold on. And she's actually doing such an amazing job that I think she had the best first season of any cast member. I'd put her in the Hall of Fame. And she's so entertaining that they showed a full 10-minute date of her with her ex-husband because they're very curious about Stacey's home life. So despite them all bullying her, Stacey is still bringing stuff with her own scenes that I think are very entertaining. So I wish Giselle and Ashley would have not made this their route against Stacey, because to me, it shows some inner character, mean-spirited inner character that I don't enjoy at all, and I wish I wasn't seeing it.
Right. Yeah. When Kay tried to attack Stacey for saying, that she did these things to get on the show, and Stacey's like, I heard you've been trying to get on the show for quite some time. I've been on TV for years. And they show the QVC clip. I was like, that was pretty good.
Totally. And she was, I think it was like a necklace or something that she was showing off on QVC.
It was a cross.
So tell me, I don't want to rant. Because I ranted about the TJ stuff, and I'm so like laid into it. Where do you fall on that line? Like, do you think there is any merit to what TJ said? Some sort of deal was struck? He's owed money?
Right.
He was paid to be on Potomac. You can't appear on television without making some sort of fee. And he was definitely featured enough to get that Peter Madrigal appearance fee per episode. Right.
No, I just cannot understand the logic of her giving him half of what she makes. Because if he was famous or there was some draw where the producers were very enticed by the idea of him joining, but it's like, no one gives a shit about this guy. Why would she ever do that?
There was no allure to TJ joining. He seemed like a guy that she was potentially dating who was enjoying being on camera or whatever. And I just think that he appeared so badly last season. I mean, we talked about it every episode. He was screaming, yelling. He was so he was so mad that he was left alone multiple times. I think that he just absolutely hated the way he was perceived on Bravo, so he wanted to blame somebody for it, and he took out all that ire on Stacey, which is a very big flaw in someone's character for him to have done something like that to Stacey. Yeah. But anyway, I don't want to be railing against this all season. Because I want to still allow for the fact that maybe it's a possibility that she's being sort of.
I mean, she did lie about the Spacey Stacey weed company, which that hasn't come up yet, but it will.
It's going to be hard for me to put on my Stacey fan hat and say, what the hell were you thinking when you said that you're not starting a weed company, just like a Happy Eddie? But, so I'll reckon with that when it comes.
Yeah, more to come. Every time I see the "And Still I Rise" meme, I love. She's so kooky. And then I think lastly, I am just very enticed by this woman, Tia. I think she could be huge.
Oh, she's amazing. I mean, she comes in about 45 minutes into the episode. It was an extended episode, so it's really late, but they did a very good job introducing these new cast members. It felt more organic than usual. Like Angel was a true friend of Kay's, and then Tia seemed like sort of a friend of Giselle's, I would say, but Tia did have a lot of fun right as she came in. She said, I'm the most like posh Spice if you had to make me Spice Girl.
Yeah, she is British. She comes from Nigerian royalty. They showed her grandfather. They had this vintage pic of him in the British judge's wig.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I need to know everything about all of this. She seems fun and smart and quippy.
I thought so too. It was great. I mean, there was not 1 second where she did anything that was sort of made me wonder about her as a cast member. I think she's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see, all the future episodes. And then I liked Angel too. I thought Angel was pretty great. They're already kind of setting up the room for, I guess, Wendy and her to potentially have a rivalry, because Wendy's like, we went to the same school, but I didn't know that person at all.
Yeah,
They're kind of setting
like
up that
Phaedra
they're
and Nene.
yeah, like a little bit of a feud between them. But I'm excited for there to be new cast members. Great introduction to both of them. I'm proud of both of them.
But yeah, it pretty much just ends with Ashley begging to see Stacey's divorce papers because she tried to look it up on the Virginia legal website database and there was no evidence. And I'm like, maybe their marriage was elsewhere? Like, I don't care at all.
No, I know. It wasn't a bombshell at all. And also Stacey goes, bring me this lawsuit that you said you saw, and then I'll talk about it then. And Ashley goes, oh, I will. And then the final fight, she goes, now, in order to trust you, I need to see your divorce papers. So it was almost like proof for proof. She wanted to negate the fact that she's never going to get the proof about the lawsuit. So she's like, now you need to show me your divorce papers to prove that you and your husband were actually divorced.
Right.
I don't understand Giselle and Ashley's strong animosity towards Stacey. So I hope it fizzles out or Stacey wins them over at some point, because it's going to be hard to watch.
The episode ends with Stacey saying, "You are the devil," to Ashley. And then on this season on, there's more breath commentary.
I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why Giselle. It's called the breath mint ball, and they're pretending like everyone needs to eat a breath mint before
Mentos
they get there. Yeah,
madness.
The Mentos Madness breath mint ball, and they're saying that everyone needs to eat breath mints before they appear on the dance floor. But the implication is that Stacey's the only one that needs to eat one.
Yeah.
And then and I didn't like even when Giselle was trying to get medical and say it's something from beneath inside her belly that's bubbling up that's causing this breath.
Yeah, it kept going. I was like, all right, I've had enough of this.
Me too. I don't, I'm just, Anyway, well, I'm excited for the scene, regardless of how I feel about Giselle and Ashley and what they're doing. I love Potomac, and it's a great cast. I love that Giselle's going to do that. Dear Karen, sign a letter. Dear Karen, this is what you're missing. I love that that's coming up. I know it'll be, a great season. I always enjoy Potomac. So, I'm excited.
It's fun to watch. We have that. And now we're going to take a break, watch Salt Lake City, and come back and talk about that. And then on our next episode, you will have Orange County. And I think there's 2 more Miamis.
Yeah, we're going to figure out programming, but we'll figure it out once Miami ends. Maybe Potomac will be over there, but don't worry at all. Turtle Time's got it completely
That's
handled.
our problem.
Yeah, you just listen. Sit back and listen to this shit. All right, I'm going to take a certified turtle piss break, and then we're going to be back with Salt Lake City.
Bye.
Amy, I did something on my certified turtle piss break.
What'd you do?
I watched the Marty Supreme trailer.
And?
I was wrong.
You think it looks
fun.
Good?
Yeah, I love ping pong. And Marty Supreme
I was going to say.
I love ping pong more than almost anybody. I'm in the top 5% of ping pong enthusiasts, and it's a full movie about Marty Supreme saying, I love this person,
Isn't
but also
that like the name on the ball or something?
I think so. That's one thing where I was caught off guard. I was like, oh my God, I should know Marty Supreme, those type of balls that he
Honor
uses.
him.
But no, Timothy Chalamet didn't look that horrible in it. And it's about ping pong, and the ping pong stuff actually looked good. So apologies to Josh Safdie. You know what's interesting though, before we get into what we have to talk about, Benny Safdie and Josh Safdie both, separated sort of like the Coen brothers. And then they both put out sort of Oscar bait in a way that is coming out within 1 month of each other. Like,
right.
Has that ever?
Sports-centric.
Huh?
Sports-centric.
Yeah, sports-centric, sort of Oscar bait, still with an edge. I mean, it's got that Safdie edge. Don't get me wrong, A24 stuff. But I'm just saying, what are the odds? 2 brothers who split up creatively. They both make 2 movies, and they're like Oscar bait
Someone
in a way.
Someone make a movie about that.
Yeah, 2 brothers like this. So whatever. I felt so bad. I've been tossing and turning after I said that I didn't like Marty Supreme, and I actually watched it more. And Timothy Chalamet, I think he'll be good as this ping pong guy who says, I got to win the championship.
I saw a tweet that he's been taking ping pong lessons since 2018. He said he had a table in London while he was making Wonka. On Dune 2, he had a table in Budapest and Jordan and Abu Dhabi. And then someone retweeted that was like, there was a point in time where he was playing ping pong, learning harmonica, reading all of Dune, and taking tap all. And then their joke was, and making chocolate milk.
That's for Wonka.
Wonk.
I take it back what I said about Timothy Chalamet, because he's obviously cares a lot about it, even if sometimes he doesn't pull off the character. But I could watch a full film about him just getting ready playing ping pong in Budapest while he's reading his Wonka lines, but he's also trying to get good at ping pong. I wish that there was one of his entourage would have filmed that whole era of Timothy Chalamet's life. Behind the scenes.
Kylie Jenner secretly was. She's good at
awesome.
Keeping record.
It would be cool if I wouldn't mind being being the turtle to his entourage, and I would have been the one who could have vlogged those escapades.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have asked for much.
Who was that little guy recording that Kanye doc? He was a little like Timmy boy.
Yeah. I didn't see that. I didn't see that doc yet, but yeah, there was a little.
Is it available? I've only seen it in clips on TikTok, and it seems forbidden. Like it doesn't feel real.
Oh, it's definitely forbidden. Oh my god, it's forbidden as hell. Yeah, I don't know. One of his. I don't know who you're talking about, but I can totally imagine there was someone. I mean, like that's. Like if you're just around someone, I'm not saying Kanye is this person, but Timothy Chalamet during that era, if you're just behind the scenes or like, recording that shit, like that could be made into a documentary that anybody would love just because there's a powerful central force there that you want to watch.
Totally. I just realized people that listen to our Patreon will know, but we sadly, for I think the first time ever, lost an entire episode because of sound issues. And I just realized we lost our entire conversation about snuff films.
I know. It was, we had 20 minutes. Amy and I had 20 minutes on next week's episode of Patreon. We're gonna have to re-record it because my mic was on the fritz, and we had an amazing discussion about what are snuff films, the road to snuff, what was going on in the 80s and 90s that made everybody sort of interested in snuff type films, and where they went.
We'll never know now.
We'll never know either. And it was a really sort of thought-provoking discussion about what is snuff, why is it named that. But hopefully, hopefully we'll be drawn back into the snuff world. Not actually, but we can talk about it again. When we re-record that episode.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna look into maybe I'll lift our AI ban, and I'm going to find a bot that can troll our episodes and use the transcript of the background noise of you talking to make an AI Riley that can match my half of the conversation.
Yeah, or the worst case scenario is we record this episode, we replace it, but then I'll diligently work on re-recording my audio based off what you say, and I'll come up with new stuff to say in between. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I'm reacting to something totally different. It could be like the Taylor Swift editions, like we can sell the lost episode at a premium.
I would love to. So Amy and I will figure out how to get back that, because we've never lost an episode before. If you can imagine, I mean, Turtle Time, this kind of operation, we've never actually lost one, but we really did. 2 days ago, we lost the full thing. And that snuff film, that is probably the true loss, us talking about snuff.
Snuff stuff. But speaking of, this Salt Lake City is called Petty Little Liars.
Horrible title.
Yeah. Doesn't really hit. Doesn't really match.
I mean, we're so away from the Pretty Little Liars or Big Little Lies, Pretty Little Liars. Like this, I mean, that was like they were just like they didn't give one shit about that title.
It's like when we're trying to come up with a title, and I'm like, I'm walking into a movie. Can we come up with something? Thank you.
No, it happens. But I think even not to toot our own horns, but Petty Little Liars, what the hell? But bad title. But very, fun, wild episode. A lot of shit was going on. I was furiously typing notes. We watch it live.
Yeah.
And I was just going, holy shit. I go, what did Bronwyn say? What did Muzzy say? There was so much.
Don't get me started on Muzzy.
Don't get me started on Muzzy either. I can't wait to talk about Muzzy. This was action-packed, for lack of a better word. We get the end of the Lisa's Clarity lunch, but it doesn't slow down for 1 second. There are so many powerful scenes in this. I mean, especially the Bronwyn Muzzy stuff. But I even like that there was a little bit of a war started between Angie and Lisa, sort of opened up again, a new chapter in their feud with each other. So this was great. I mean,
And we got Mary back in church. I have questions, but we'll get into it. So yeah, it picks up right where it left off at the Clarity lunch. Lisa is there, going back and forth with Angie, and she starts to go after her, I guess, how many salons she actually owns or what percentage she owns. And she's like, you only own 1.5 and the rest are franchises. And Angie's like, we own 3 and the rest are franchises. And that is a model I'm proud of. And I'm like, what's wrong with having a franchise? That's awesome.
It's so cool. Yeah, I don't like this stuff. Picking apart, who owns what and all that kind of stuff. So she owns a lunatic fringe? She started that?
I guess.
That's so cool. What do you
I
think?
again have more questions, just out of curiosity, not out of trying to pick her story apart, but I want to know more about her business ownership journey.
If I was doing a logo for Lunatic Fringe, it would be like the Fido Dido logo. Do you know what that looks like?
No.
It's like a line. It's like a line drawing, and it would have Fido Dido long hair, and then someone would have crazy eyes that are spirals.
Yeah.
And then someone would be cutting their hair, and that would be the.
That's good.
Do you like that?
Did you notice Muzzy's sweatshirt? It would be kind of like that.
What did it say?
It was like fine, everything is fine, and it was like a cat that was like. Meh.
Yeah, it was kind of a hybrid of that dog that goes, I'm fine, and there's fire, and a little bit of that cat that hangs from the thing saying, hang in there, baby.
Right. / like Kathy, like, ack.
Yeah. A little bit of Kathy, too. It said, I'm doing fine, just don't ask me how I'm doing, or something, right?
Something like that. And I was like, that whimsical sweater doesn't match your personality.
No. Muzzy gave us more of a sort of a spectrum of what she offers in that upcoming scene with Bronwyn. Okay, after that, Angie says, don't talk about my stuff. Who knows how many salons I have? I have 3, but who cares? I love franchises. She goes, Lisa, you sell French fries. I sell franchises. You do French fries. I do franchise, which is better than what I said. I loved it too. And then Mary goes, what did she say? That sounded sort of cool. And Heather goes, she said, you do French fries. I do franchise. And Mary goes, oh my God, that's good.
Does she just mean because Lisa loves to eat Wendy's fries?
I think so. But it's good. It sounds good. It's catchy.
Don't think about it too much.
But Lisa does more than that. But I liked it. It made me think like, oh, the Wendy's stuff. She likes French fries.
If she came up with that on the fly, it's good.
She did.
You do French fries. I do franchise.
Oh, she didn't.
Do you think she had that in her back pocket? How did she know franchise was going to come up?
I think it's okay, all right. I allow that possibly Angie came up with that, but I also do think Angie kind of delves into some pre-written stuff every once in a while. It was just too cool off the cuff.
That's her new tagline next year. It'll be like, while you do French fries, I do franchise.
That's what I thought too. It's like if that picks up steam, which it could be picking up steam on the internet right now. We're recording live. We don't know. But then what did you think about this? This really sets the ball rolling on a new era of Lisa and Angie. A new war, like I said. Angie goes, speaking of shit that sucks, when I invested in your son's line of hair products or hair care stuff, your son, Jack, I was like, what the? I don't remember this. Mm-hmm. It was called Fresh Wolf. And guess what? You never market that shit, Fresh Wolf, and you got into Kerastase, or Kerastase, which is a partner that I love and I cherish. And you should be promoting your boy's Fresh Wolf shit and not be seeking Kerastase. And by the way, your son's Fresh Wolf is a C-line product. It doesn't belong in my salon. It belongs in Walmart.
Oof.
C-line?
I've never heard C-line.
Me either. It's kind of cool. It's something that I'm definitely going to say from now on, because there is sort of some products that you see at Walmart. Like when I'm shopping, I'm like, oh, that's definitely a Walmart exclusive.
Yeah.
But now I'll be like, oh, that's a C-line product.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes when I go to the salon, they have the really nice stuff that seems almost too expensive to use every day, and you're like, oh, that's elite. And it sounds like she didn't think Fresh Wolf was that.
No, I say, what's the most expensive stuff you can put in my hair? And they go, Arco.
What's that?
I think it's called R plus Co. I say don't scrimp on it. You can put as much.
I was thinking like ARCO, like the gas station.
I think it's called R plus Co. And I say
I
you
have
can
their
use the full
dry shampoo. I think
I go a little more, a little more. Oh, and then Lisa goes, "You're a jealous person. Angie. And then Angie goes, "You're a jealous person, bitch."
Yeah. Meredith chimes in. She goes, "Nobody wants to hear that they have a C-level business." And Heather's like, "You guys, you got to keep going, stop going tit for tat. It's enough."
Wonderful Heather speech here. Heather is so much the voice of reason on this show. Heather loves, and this was off the cuff. Now, I will say this is off the cuff. Heather loves to give these speeches that everyone can rally around. I've said this before. She's so good at it in the moment. She goes, "I came here, Lisa, to hear you out. I know you're a good person. I love you. We don't need to talk about C-line businesses, but just so you know, I love you as a friend. I don't care about the lawsuits. I don't care about that you go French fries while my friend goes franchise. I love you for being a fun friend, and this is not fun. None of us are having fun. This is really bad." And it kind of it adds a new emotional component, and everybody sort of gets on that register after that, especially Lisa, which I was not expecting.
Right. Yeah. At one point when they were fighting, they cut to Bronwyn and she looked so upset. It looked like she was in like total anguish.
Sometimes she looks like she's in anguish. I think she was a little bit in anguish when Lisa was kind of getting off the hook in the Heather conversation, when she saw that the moods were shifting towards Lisa, when Lisa started to gather steam and get people on her side again. I think Bronwyn was like, "Oh God, I'm going to be left in the lurch of being the most evil one towards Lisa, and she's going to get everybody back on her side." Maybe a little bit of a loss of calibration there. And then this is when Lisa says, after Heather prompts it, Lisa says, they say, "You never are vulnerable." She goes, I do feel vulnerable sometimes. I grew up so different," which I'm not exactly sure what she's alluding to.
Right.
But she goes, "Angie K, just so you know, I love you so much. When I look at you, I'm hurt. Everything we say to each other hurts me so much more because I actually care about you." So Angie's the first one that she apologizes to because there's love there. And then that's when Angie says, "I feel the same way about you. Deep love. And I'm sorry for what I said," especially the Jen Shaw comment.
Right. Yeah. And then same for Heather. Lisa says, "I'm your biggest champion. I always want you to do well." And they're both crying. And she says she wants everyone to thrive. And she's like, "Me and Bronwyn are going through our issues, but we'll figure them out." And Bronwyn goes, "I took no pride in finding out about this credit card, whatever lawsuit. And, just don't talk about me." And they have a nice cheers all around.
Yeah. And so it was kind of in order, I think. Well, I think she loves Heather the most, and Lisa and Heather's friendship is beautiful. It's really been put through many tests, but Lisa has finally just come to love Heather. She treated her like shit at the first couple seasons, but now she really respects her. Angie, you can tell she's a true friend. Bronwyn, she knows, is deeper, and they don't have the love that she has with Angie. And then Whitney gets absolute nothing.
Yeah.
No bridge
Her
back.
part is done. Yeah.
It's horrible. And then Lisa, I think, does a chant or a toast or something saying, "I love you all." And they say, "We love you, Lisa." And it's like, holy shit, I would have never thought that scene would get to that point.
I know. And I think it holds for everyone except for Angie, which we will get to later.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some quick check-ins after that. Meredith, we visit her store, which she's going to partition off part of it to be just the jewelry. And then in the back, she wants to have a speakeasy for the caviar.
Great idea.
I'm like, yeah, people, because if you're a fan and you want to go, it's like, you don't want to go to a store. You want to go to a place where you could eat or drink,
If I went to Salt Lake City, she just made a thing that I would go to. I would never go to her store. I wouldn't know what the hell was going on in there. Jewelry, shirts that say her catchphrases on it. I like bathtub. But a caviar bar with whiskey or whatever, I would love to go to that. It's going to be a destination for any
is that
Bravo
allowed?
fan.
She's going to have to get a new, license or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about the Salt Lake City Board of Ethics. They'd be like, "What was this before? What was this before? Now it's going to be this." So you could really go Salt Lake City now. You can really start to have a really good time. Get drunk at Vita Premier Lounge, then go get drunk and have caviar with Meredith, and then I don't know what else, what other businesses.
It ends there. Then there's a quick Heather Mary lunch where Heather says she drank everybody else's drinks at the Clarity lunch, and Mary goes, "I don't like tequila. It tastes like medicine. It tastes like hospital."
Yeah. And Heather goes, "Whoa." She gives her kind of a look like, "Whoa, are you bringing your hospital stuff back?" When she said Jen Shaw smells of hospital.
Yeah. And then she tried to take it down a nastier road, which I won't repeat.
Yeah, but the thing that she does say that we won't repeat causes Heather to laugh out loud and look directly at the camera and smile. Like, did you hear Mary just say this thing?
A full Jim from The Office. Okay, and then there's a quick Whitney Justin setting up her stripper pole yet again because she has a new lease on life, and she says, I'm ready to be who I was before and bloom as a rose after my business failed.
Second bloom. She goes,
Yeah.
my old pole, I had to turn into an office mechanism because I was so business oriented. So she was putting hats on it and suits or, briefcases and stuff. But now she's able to bring it fully back to being what it was before. A pole that sort of inspired chatter around Salt Lake. People said, have you heard about the person named Whitney who has a pole in her house that she dances on?
Yes. Okay.
Now I wanted to ask you one thing. Did you hear that thing that Whitney said, or people talk about that Whitney just has a home in Salt Lake City that's like a rental for filming because she doesn't want anybody to like know where she actually lives? Megan reminded me of this and I didn't remember, but if you look at that home, it just has 6 Harry Potter books just stapled to the wall and then one pole and then there's nothing else in her house. So it almost seemed like it kind of adds fuel to that theory that she like has a separate place that they film at.
Right. I'm trying to remember. Did she say something about moving or like, welcome to my new home? I'm trying to remember.
If anyone knows more about this, Turtle Time listeners, I know I knew I heard that, and this kind of added a little credit to that. But let us know if there's some, merit to that claim.
Okay. So now we head over to the Vita Tequila Lounge where Bronwyn is meeting Lisa. I didn't find this to be very fruitful because they were kind of just agreed to have their swords down and we're just saying, all right, we won't talk shit anymore.
Yeah, there was still a little tension. There was still some remarks where it could have gone badly each time. They were really teetering on the edge. What they were saying, it's neither of them wants to let go of power in this dynamic, and Bronwyn never wants to be the one to like eat her words or look like she's less than Lisa, and Lisa also wasn't willing to give that up. So it's a truce. At first, it's a truce, but then they kind of get into family dynamic stuff a little bit. It's like, oh, okay, now we can kind of open up and share what we've been dealing with, which is what we used to do as friends. And that's when they talk about how Jack is almost coming home, fresh wolf Jack.
Yeah.
And then Bronwyn says, well, guess what? My house has a boyfriend in it, and my mom Muzzy is there. So you can imagine what kind of house that's like.
Yes. And she sort of opens up about how her mom is so much more chill as a grandma and that she has alluded to the idea that she was hard on Bronwyn, which has been healing. But then we get to their actual conversation at the end of the episode, and she is not chill.
Yeah, it's really an interesting dynamic. I mean, I love the entertaining value of everything, but Bronwyn is bringing another whole new thing that I've never seen before in my life with this, her mother living with her, but she's also raising her daughter in the same home. And she says that her Gwen is at the same age that when she was having her worst time with her mother. So she's like kind of reliving those experiences with her mother there to sort of judge her or see it in a new light, which is a really, compelling dynamic for me.
Totally. Okay, then we go to Mary with her cousin, Big Joe, who is helping her renovate the church. I think she said it had been closed for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are these renovations? I mean, she alluded that he was a terrible contractor and takes forever to do everything. But like, you can get some benches reupholstered in like a month. What are you talking about?
Big Joe she said he's family, so he's milking it for all
There's
it's worth.
There's raw nails sticking out of the pews.
Each pew has a couple nails sticking out. And he goes, oh, God. He goes, that's not good. Because if somebody sat in it.
You don't miss a thing.
Yeah. He goes, wow. He goes, you didn't want nails in it? And she
Eagle eye.
Yeah. And then they also have, I think it's her grandmother who's in heaven with, I'm going to say, it's a pig painting of her mother having kind of a, embrace with Jesus.
It's amazing.
It's really interesting art. And then Mary kind of stops to pay homage to it, before she goes and talks about Big Joe. She really did, she didn't do the best job of sort of making Big Joe seem like a good contractor by what she said. I mean, this is his first appearance, or I don't remember if we've seen Big Joe before, but she's kind of like, hey, my cousin sucks at contracting.
Yeah. I mean, why is their business, I mean, it's not, well, maybe it is a business, but their church has been closed for 2 years. Where are those parishioners supposed to go?
They have to go. Well, I don't know what it's called. I don't remember, but it's like we're adrift. And it's so sad, but they go, I think they go to just a bunch of surrounding ones and they say, I can't wait for my church to be back to how it was. Yeah. It's really sad. I got to say one thing. Well, I guess I'll say it now. I love Mary because I've been sort of reacclimated to Mary, and there's such a different side of her that we're seeing. But when she brings out the Louis Vuitton Kleenex face mask that she's using to wipe her tears, like for some reason probably for a lot of people, the sort of juxtaposition or whatever, the kind of shameful juxtaposition of like someone who owns a church or who works in a church having a lot of extravagant wealth, or like even a Louis Vuitton tissue, is really jarring to me. It's just like, it's sort of the least sympathetic thing I could ever imagine. Like, I would rather her immediately sell that right now and give it to every homeless person she sees with the $1,000. You know what I mean?
She's gotten away with a murder. No one ever asks questions about the whole scandal about the con artistry of her church.
Yeah, and I'm just like, would you ever want to go to a Sunday service and then see your pastor squeal out in a Ferrari and do a bunch of donuts and say, and a bunch of money flies out as he's driving away? It's like, it's horrible.
Do you think Mary watches Righteous Gemstones?
I mean, that is it. It's like, that's it to a T. It's like, there's just something sick about seeing someone who's devoted their life to religion being really wealthy.
No, yeah, there's something rotten there for sure. We also, I feel like it was a curiosity in the early seasons, but we don't really talk about it anymore, but she brings it up here that, so when her grandmother died, who was sort of the overseer of everything, her mom tried to shoehorn in, even though that's not what her grandmother wanted, which is why she was like, you have to marry my husband to Mary, so that she could be bestowed the empire, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit of a succession. Mary church succession.
And I'm like, this whole thing is insane. It's crazy that it's not constantly talked about.
I know. They talked about it, in the early seasons, and then it's a no-go with Mary. They know that they can only touch upon 30% of Mary's life, and the rest is not fodder for discussion. They don't want to delve into that. So I was actually surprised that Mary even kind of want to open the floodgates to talk about church again and do this kind of stuff again. Yeah. I mean, I think she's more confident now on this show, and she's like, I have a fan base and stuff, but I don't know. I would keep us at an arm's distance from some of this stuff. Yeah.
They also said that there was a police struggle when there was the takeover.
She went up to go sing and said, I'm in charge of singing now. I'm Mary's mom, and this is my rightful church. And they had to call the police and escort her out. And she said it was really bad with her mom for a really long time. Her mom was putting press saying, my daughter sucks.
Yeah, as of her being on the show.
Yeah. Can I ask, I know I don't want to get too gossipy, but do we remember how long he was Mary's step-grandfather? This is like the most low-hanging fruit, so I don't like to talk about it, of this show. But do we know, I mean, I know we don't, I'll check, but how long, how much
was he only with the grandma for a month? So it's not as gross.
That's what I hope. That's what I hope. I hope he wasn't very established in the household.
She's still married to this man.
I know. It's Robert
just her
Sr.
literal husband.
It's Robert Sr. He's like, I don't want to be filmed. It's like, yeah, I understand that.
I bet you don't.
Angie's Salon is up next. Lunatic Fringe, of which she owns 3.
What a great name.
It's so cool. The Lunatic Fringe. It makes me think like I'm like a coffee shop meeting up with poets.
Yeah.
I'm part of the Lunatic Fringe. Right?
Oh, don't get us started on the beats. That's one of our favorite tangents.
Don't get me started. You just did beat poetry. That Jack Kerouac, Allen Ginsberg,
Burroughs,
William S. Burroughs, Naked Lunch. One of his. Oh my God, I love talking about those.
What's
beats.
that? San Fran bookstore.
City Lights.
Hell yeah.
I didn't look it up. City Lights. Allen Ginsberg would go there and he'd be like, "You were ready for some beat poetry?" He'd be like, "I saw the minds of my generation squalid in filth," and people are like, "Oh my god, this is awesome."
We were like,
they go, "Holy shit!" They go, "Did you hear Jack Kerouac's got a new novel called
his
On the
drunk
Road?"
ass.
We need to establish we say this all the time, but we need to start a new generation of beat poets, and you and I are the founders.
Come on. Yeah.
All right, the Lunatic Fringe, Angie's salon. She needs to retake her cosmetology license, and she's going to test on Heather and give her a huge blowout perm.
A funny gag. She only did the front. She gave up on it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I wish that we remember when Schwartz got a perm?
Of course. Oh yeah. He got a perm and he got his hair blonde by Joe, remember? He does a lot of hair stuff.
Yeah. So that's a fun just excuse for them to goss. And during this, she tells her that it was probably like the hour before or something while they were filming. Lisa's assistant, I think her name was Sage, came by and was like, "I'm here to pick up your Fresh Wolf products. Lisa says she Venmo'd you." And she had to go down to the dusty Quasimodo basement where they were all covered in dust and put them in a crate and gave them over. She had been Venmo'd $600 by Lisa. And when she got back to her phone, she had a text, "Venmo'd you." And it said something like, "Just Venmo'd you and blah, 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 talking shit. Sorry, your salon is so dusty. You can use my cleaners if you want."
Yeah. And so, I mean, this is all a very powerful Lisa moment. You know, at first I thought the assistant was going to come in and be like, "I got shit to talk about Lisa." And I was like, "Oh God, that'd be horrible. I don't want to see another scene like that." But instead, it's sort of this very calculated move, you know, saying like, "You talked shit about my son's Fresh Wolf. I'm going to take it back if you don't want it." And Lisa sent a text already. Venmo's ready to go, saying your salon is dusty as hell. And then Angie has to say, "Sorry about the dusty shit, but it was not in a good place where dust could be dusted off. It was in a basement that collects dust
your
naturally."
Shit is dusty because it didn't sell and it's been here for years. She goes, "Why don't you send that $600 to the people who are claiming you owe them cash, bitch?"
Pretty good retort. Good retort back. Yeah. I thought that was fun. I was like, okay, it's Lisa's still winning because this is a powerful move and very fun. I loved it that Lisa kind of orchestrated this entire thing. But Angie got her back, and then she said, Lisa made a new claim, so we didn't really talk about this, but the fact that Lisa, after the Lisa's Clarity lunch, kind of sat with it, said, "I forgive everyone, Angie, you're who I truly love." Right. And then she goes, wait. What was that shit she said about Fresh Wolf being sea line? That's too much for me. Lisa had more time now to calculate things than she did at the start of this season. Now she's like, "I want to pull off something very fun." And so then she said, "I'm not going to let Angie get away with this," and then set the ball rolling on this thing. So at some point she had a change of heart. Fresh Wolf was a bridge too far.
Right. Yeah. Her last line was something about accusing Angie of going on a vacation she couldn't afford and using a credit card she shouldn't have used. And I'm like, don't talk about credit cards that aren't yours. That's your problem.
Yeah, you don't want to say credit card anymore because people say, "Well, what about that credit card that we know about you?" Oh my God, yeah. So I think that's probably alluding to something that Angie maybe knows, but if Lisa's not going to be clear, she's not going to be clear about it. She doesn't want to talk about it. Who knows if it's actually true? Right. And then Angie goes, "I only talked about," to Heather, she goes, "I only talked about shitty Fresh Wolf being sea line because Lisa talked about her shiny, pretty hair. And guess what? Her hair, it looks like a big bowling ball, right? She styles it in the shape of a bowling ball and uses the same color as a bowling ball."
The shape of a bowling ball. Yeah, she had, I think she thinks Lisa maybe needs some more warmth or a highlight or something. She thinks the jet black is no good. And Heather's like, "See, this is what I'm talking about. I think you're going down the right road, and then you say something horrible." And Angie's like, "Sorry, what?"
Yeah, she goes, "Bowling ball black doesn't allow for shine in hair." And so Heather goes, Angie goes, "I'm going to do something with this. I'm not yet, but I am going to have to talk to her when I see her." And Heather goes, "Well, maybe, if the path that led you here or whatever, try to make amends if you can." But Angie's already set on doing something about it, which we see later in the episode with Meredith.
Yes. Okay, and then I think I can deduce the Brittany Whitney plant store walkabout to literally just Whitney is lecturing Brittany to put her daughter first and ditch Jared Osmond for her daughter.
Yeah. And I think that Brittany's reaction will be shocking to some because it's like she's, has never thought of this before. She's like, I haven't asked Olivia what she thinks about Jared or what would be the dream for her. And Whitney's like, why? And Whitney does say, like, this is all very triggering for me because of my estrangement with my mom. And she's like, you need to do what's best for your daughter now because you might not get another chance. And Brittany's kind of like, stunned into silence, and Whitney's like, the fact that I'm even having to tell you this is kind of a big deal to me now.
Brittany's like, that's a big ass, I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, I get Jared. He comes in, he's fun as hell. He's a Osmond, for God's sake. He's Jared and Donnie and Marie's nephew, I think. So I get it. But you got to get over that love brain. Your kid comes first. And so I don't know. That didn't make Brittany look very
Maybe
good.
Maybe her daughter sucks.
Olivia, yeah, it's very possible that Olivia just sucks.
Jared's more fun.
I mean, you don't want to compare anyone to Jared. It's like, what daughter, Olivia, could compare to Jared
She's
Osmond?
like, I tried to hang out with my daughter, but it sucked. Like, she sucks.
She's like, who knows what she wants? She doesn't even talk to me. Jared's, I love him so much. I tried to look up an Osmond song. I don't know any of them.
Yeah, what's their big one?
You look it up and you've never heard it before. It's like,
Donnie
I'm dreaming of Donnie or something.
And Marie song. Yeah, Morning Side of a Mountain.
I don't know any of that shit.
Looks like they did It Takes Two at some point.
Yeah. Her name's Marie and my name's Donnie, which I'm like, what does that song mean?
Didn't they do like, I'm a little bit country, I'm a little bit rock and roll?
For sure, but I don't think that they wrote that. Donnie and Marie, I Love My Husband. It's like, what is this? These songs. I've never heard.
I bet a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll has been the title of a Housewives episode before.
Oh, for sure. I'm a little bit, they would have maybe one twist. One little twist. All right. Anyway, I just want to say, if you know an Osmond song that's actually a song that everyone knows, like, just tell me.
Send it through.
Yeah. Okay. Bronwyn with Muzzy.
Hell yeah. This is the good shit. This is where I started getting my quill out and scribbling.
Me too. I was pretty quilled. And do you wish that you had someone in your life named Muzzy?
It's cute.
I want to, if someone's named Muzzy and you want to be our friend, like, I just want to refer to someone as Muzzy. I love it so much.
Yeah. Bring back, I feel like good grandma names are sort of hard to come by. I do like the Kris Jenner goes by Lovey, which I think is cute.
Yeah, and I realize why I love Muzzy so much. I'm sorry, I'm not going to talk about this too long, but there was that big French monster that taught people English. I'm older than you, but his name was Muzzy, and I used to have to watch these things in class. He would be like, my name is Muzzy.
I've never seen this little guy before.
Muzzy in Gondoland. If anybody knows about Muzzy, I know this is me telling you that I'm 40 in December, but he goes. I don't even want to do his voice, but he said, I know how to speak French, so learn with me. My name is Muzzy, and so I have a real association.
You took French?
Yeah, in high school. Yeah, I know it. I know it really well. So yeah. But anyway, that's where I heard. So you never saw Muzzy.
Oh, he's cute.
Yeah. Okay. So I have an association with his name, but Muzzy is sitting down and she's trying to pack up Bronwyn's big sloth outfit. Because I think that's been laying out since last season when she wore it with Todd.
Yeah, their house is filled with slop all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Her daughter and her boyfriend are like, we're going bowling. It's time for our league. And Bronwyn's like, you guys don't fucking bowl. I don't even know what you're going to do, but it's not that. And she's basically alluding that they're going to fuck somewhere.
Yeah. She's saying that to Muzzy. She's like, I think that they go and make love together, and Muzzy goes, they don't do enough of that in the East Wing when they're alone all the time. And it's like, whoa, holy shit! I mean, Muzzy knows. She's got their number.
Yeah.
that they might be having sex with each other.
Yeah. Bronwyn's like, can you imagine if I said I wanted my boyfriend to move in when I lived at home? And she goes, that would never happen. I would never allow such a thing. And the reason she thinks that it's okay is because she's following your example. And Bronwyn's like, all right, cool it with insinuating what I've got going on. Like, she's like, watch your words.
Yeah, it's always very close for Muzzy to say something that really hurts Bronwyn's feelings, and Muzzy does it about 3 or 4 times in this conversation. She doesn't really let up.
I know. I feel like she makes her cry every time they talk.
Yeah, she's chastising her as a parent. This sort of reminded me of a really mean, like, darker version of Gilmore Girls in a way. Sort of about the same thing. It's like if Emily Gilmore never sort of got fun and nice to Lorelai, if she was just like the first season Emily, this is kind of that dynamic in a little way. I mean, the closest we're ever going to get.
Without the money to hold over her head, at least on Gilmore Girls, she's like helping them out financially and stuff. And it's like, Muzzy, you live with her for free.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, that's true. And in that way, it's not really like Gilmore Girls. And
no,
maybe
but the dynamic is correct.
Yeah, a little bit. And now with Gwen in there, she's like, you could say she's like Rory in a way. Muzzy says I understand, of course, how Bronwyn feels this entire time, because it sounds like her mom still has the exact same opinion of everything. However long, like the exact same opinion about everything, about how she raised her and how it was the right thing to do. And that probably hurts Bronwyn so much to hear that her mom has never backed down from that very tough love demeanor that she had with her as she was being raised.
Yeah, it's whack. Bronwyn's like, I let her do whatever she wants, and it's better because then she can be honest with me completely and just tell me what she's doing. And Muzzy is like, that's just a style of parenting I've never seen work. And Bronwyn's like, do you think the style of your parenting worked? Because I ended up knocked up and it sucked ass. And, as much as you told me not to do all of these things, I of course did them anyway, and everyone does. And Muzzy goes, I would have put my head on the chopping block, saying that you would never drink or smoke or have sex. So she was completely shocked that that was even possible that she would do those things.
Yeah. Which is sort of a guilt trip. Because it's like, it's already done, and she was, and do you want to talk about why?
God damn.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like, so that's not the right thing to say. Like, oh, I thought you were such an upstanding, wonderful daughter that I never had to worry about. So it just brings up all of those old feelings.
Yeah. And then Bronwyn goes on to basically lay out the patterns of this abusive ass relationship where her mom was like, you don't get a baby shower. I'm going to buy gifts for your sisters who are pregnant, but not for you because your baby is a bastard.
Yeah, they went to Baby Gap. Bronwyn brought this memory up, and both older sisters were pregnant at the same time.
Yeah,
and then
she was fact.
That's 3 sisters pregnant at the same time. The 3 pregnant sisters. That'd be a fun movie.
It's like Father of the Bride 3.
Yeah, my 3 pregnant daughters. That'd be so fun. My daughters are all pregnant. I don't mean that would be they wouldn't make a movie about that. I'm just like, what a concept. That's wild. This dad and mom were like, our children are all pregnant, and they really were like, we love, like you said, we love these 2 older siblings. I guess they're in marriages. Right. We love what they're doing, but Bronwyn doesn't get any Baby Gap clothes for her baby because we hate it so much.
Yeah, it's also crazy that she was literally in college. It wasn't like she was 15 or something. I mean, 20s, I think people in their 30s are child brides and child moms, but, it's not like she was like, I feel like 20 plus is a little different than like your teens.
And I would have thought you'd be in the swing of it by then. Like, whoa, you know what I mean? You're like, it's already happening to 2 other daughters. Right. Like, it's not a big deal. But the premarital aspect, I mean, don't get me started on that. That's the religious part.
I can't relate.
I know, yeah, and I can see that side of it. I know what that's like, the shame. I mean, it's all about, a lot of it's about shame. And that dad who was like, I'm here to switch out I don't know what he was. He was the official record holder of the Mormons. And he's like, I got to put in the record that my daughter got pregnant outside of marriage. And she's like, the shame that your dad had. You know?
Yeah. Bronwyn is saying, you made my pregnancy miserable. And Muzzy is like, do you know how miserable I was trying to hide it? It's like, bitch, you are so old and you're still talking like that. Like, get over it. By your age, you're supposed to be like, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah, because you just saw Gwen go to make love to her boyfriend or bowling, and you should be like, this is all great. It was good. I love my daughter. I love my granddaughter. No matter what happened, it was meant to be. Look at Gwen. She's amazing. I mean, we haven't seen Gwen a lot this season, but I remember she was so fun and cool. Like you would think that everything worked out well. So there's no time to dwell on the bad shit that Bronwyn did anymore.
Yeah, it's like your husband doesn't remember anything. You are sick. Like, what are you doing here? And then she goes even lower and she goes, I just feel like you dropped her at my place as daycare. And if I didn't help you, she would have been put in foster care. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's insane.
Yeah. And also you could tell Bronwyn, she wanted this conversation, but she would have never thought that Muzzy was going to say that. That was a complete shock to her.
Crazy.
Yeah, like that if you hadn't thrown her to me for daycare, what would you have done? She probably would have been. And then she was like, no, I'm not saying that you wanted her adopted. You wanted to take care of her, but the insinuation is already out there.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I would be so mad.
Yeah, and then Muzzy said, I'm always proud of you, just so you know, but I don't want to say it very often because I don't want you to get too proud of yourself and think you're too wonderful. And I was like, oh my God, that's the end of that
Mom.
Muzzy scene. Yeah, very nice.
I'd be like, Muzzy, get the fuck out of my house. How about that?
Totally, yeah. There's a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah, I'd be like, you can take a Starbucks mug and fuck off.
Yeah. Maybe though Muzzy through this season will get a real strong emotional arc between Bronwyn and Muzzy.
Maybe so.
Maybe.
She's on the pantheon of the evil moms. Mama Joyce. There's others.
I can't think of any evil moms right now, but yeah, those two for sure. Yeah. Not great for Muzzy there.
Yes. Okay, then we round out. Meredith and Angie go for coffee. Did I miss this or was this unseen that Meredith gave Angie like silver scroll holders while they were camping?
You didn't miss it. Okay. Flashback, cut to it. Now it's very fun.
That's
Meredith
a great gift.
Yeah, she goes, I want to make your scroll even more meaningful that you used on me. Because they had
What was it? What was the scroll?
Oh, it was kind of a really dumb prop. It was like, Meredith, these are the 10 commandments that you've, I forget. What was it?
Like all the things you've done to me or something?
Yeah. The list of horrible things that Meredith has said or done. So it was nice. It was a real moving forward olive branch gift for Angie.
I can hold space for the scroll.
Do you mean you liked it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just remembering that I didn't like it at the time, but now I'm like, I love Angie so much. Maybe the scroll was really cool.
It's giving Greek.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Something that Zeus would do.
Totally.
He'd be like, look at this scroll, Hercules. And then, okay, this was kind of like this was an interesting, I'll say, good move, even though I don't like, she's an antagonist to my favorite cast member, but this was a chess move against Meredith, the one staunch ally of Lisa's, to sit Meredith down and say, guess what, Meredith, when we were going through our shit, Lisa would text me and say, hey, dig into Meredith's weird past.
Google her fucked up family.
Google this guy's name. Google the theft over here. What's going on over here? Follow the breadcrumbs, Angie. You'll get to the bottom of it.
You spell it like this.
You spell it like this, and it was Lisa supposedly giving Angie advice to get Meredith off her back. So it was like, I'm a friend to Angie. I love her. Let me give you some cool OG moves that we use. But you would never think that Lisa would be offering that advice to Angie against Meredith, who she also loves and cherishes. So that's what Meredith is taken aback by, obviously.
Yeah. She says, this is very disturbing, and obviously I'll need to talk to her about this. And Angie goes, do it. I'm happy for you to do that. And I watched a little bit of Watch What Happens, and the audience said it was over 90% that think this is true.
As much as it makes me sad, I don't think of Angie as a major liar.
Yeah.
Something about how she told it to Meredith makes me worried. Maybe Lisa said, like, you should Google this one guy. He's a Marks way up in the, somewhere else, and he's a...
Man, these chicks really don't, like, keep their nose or their hands clean.
They don't keep their nose. They don't keep their hands clean. I think that's the expression. And then, Meredith does say, giving Lisa benefit of the doubt. She goes, Angie's lied about me for 2 years, and I love Lisa. So I really need to verify if this is, if this is true. So that'll be next week, I guess.
Yeah, it does look like there's a huge blowout between Angie and Lisa. And also then Mary gets pissed at Angie. So there's going to be some drama next week. We will be here on the ground talking about that. But yeah, fun episode.
Yes. Oh my God. Bronwyn and Muzzy alone was like, whoa, I love this about Salt Lake City. Mary's church. Holy shit. Yeah. Lisa's, Fresh Wolf stuff. This was great. Bad start to the season, like we talked about with that Blair Witch stuff, but it's really ripping now. Love it. Can't wait for next week. So that concludes what Amy and I do as two Turtle Time co-hosts. We recap shows. We talk about news. I think we've done both of those things very well. I'll just say it.
Yeah.
So let's conclude this episode. And I want to ask this, please. We want to have 666 reviews by October 31st. 666 is a satanic number. It's one of the scariest numbers. If you're making a horror movie and you see 666 somewhere, you instantly are like, oh my God, that's one of the worst numbers I can see. Yeah. We want 666 reviews by 1031, and we are going to read it. And I hope that all those ones that get flooded in are spooky themed, so we can be reading scary themed reviews. Not scary like this podcast sucks, but just fun, sort of scary stuff that's
Get
good.
Creative. We're at 528, so do the math on how many we need left and give us that many reviews.
And it's easy. Apple makes it so easy to give reviews. And you could be the lucky person who writes number 666 that will read it on All Hallows Eve. And it could be one of the scariest things we've ever read. We don't know.
Yeah, I would love to see that. As we mentioned, you can join us on Patreon. You will have maybe the lost episode, but most importantly, the one that replaces it. New episode every Monday over there, Vanderpump Rules recaps. And then we also do a monthly movie little review for a bonus episode as well.
Yes. And Lisa's Boudoir members, $25 a month. If we see you pop in, we say your name with our pure love behind it on our episode, our main feed. We cherish you forever, and we also honor you on our main feed episode. So that's a big win for anybody who wants to be Lisa's Boudoir.
Yes.
Amy, anything else you want to add before we close up shop?
I'm ready to go. Let's roll.
All right, me too. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.